Okay, do you guys ever see that guy on Twitter or on TikTok who goes around in the grocery stores and finds weird food items and says, who's buying this? And usually he is right. It'll be like Fruity Pebbles flavored syrup or like blueberry flavored milk, you know, like who really is buying this stuff? However, today he upset me because he said it about Funyuns. Who's buying Funyuns? I'm buying Funyuns. Funyuns are elite, they're top 5. Benedict Pelosi, you lost all my respect, sir. Anyway, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and welcome to a pre-recorded video. If you're seeing this right now, that means I am in the midst of moving. However, today's video is going to be a fun one because it's a requested one from a fan named Braven1. He suggested last week that I go and make a video about every division starting team. And I think I understand what you're talking about. I'm going to go through every division and give you my starting lineup. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, 1, 2, tight end, O-line, defense, head coach, and I think there's one more category. Anyway, I liked your idea, man, and that's what I'm going to do today. Real quick before we hop into the video, 1, head over to gfuel.com. Use code WyattzWorld. Save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. And 2, if you're 18 years or older, head over to Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where code WyattzWorld will match up to $100 of your first deposit. But remember, guys, always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm not really sure the most efficient way to do this, and I am on a time crunch, so I'm gonna probably just give you guys the teams, and then we'll talk about it after. So the first team we will go over is the NFC North starting team, and that roster looks a little something like this. Quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, running back is Delvin Cook, wide receiver 1 is Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 2 is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Tight end is gonna be TJ Hawkinson, our O-line is gonna be the Lions, our defense is gonna be the Packers, and our head coach will be Kevin O'Connell. Now, I really don't feel like I need to explain my choice of quarterback, running back, or really wide receivers. I understand some people might argue the Amon-Ra St. Brown pick, but for me, he's a clear-cut number 2 in the North. As far as our tight end goes, I think TJ Hawkinson is the best there by far. O-line, I'm gonna take the Lions. I like them. They're young. They got Penei Sewell, who I think is gonna be a beast for years to come. And their defense, I'm gonna take the Packers because they got guys like Jair Alexander, Adrian Amos, even though I think he's about to hit free agency, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Eric Stokes. You know, I think they're loaded. However, I think it's the head coach that's gonna be a head scratcher to some people here. I think LaFleur is probably gonna be the favorite, although I don't think I would like to take him. I do think Matt LaFleur is a good coach if he has the weapons he needs, but it showed last year that if he doesn't know how to win, and he doesn't change anything. He'll go in with the same losing game plan 8 weeks in a row. Like Dan Campbell, I don't honestly hate Uberflus, but Kevin O'Connell had a really good first year as a head coach, and I think he is honestly my pick for that division. Alright, so for our next team, how about we do the AFC North? We'll kind of alternate instead of just doing 4 and 4. So my starting squad for the AFC North goes something like this. Quarterback is Joe Burrow, running back is Nick Chubb, wide receiver 1 is Jamar Chase, wide receiver 2 is T. Higgins. Tight end is Mark Andrews, we got the Browns O-line, the Steelers defense, and Mike Tomlin is the head coach. This one, again, at least quarterback, running back, and wide receiver 1, there is absolutely no debate. Wide receiver 2, maybe, but I think T. Higgins honestly is not that far behind Jamar Chase. And when it comes to tight end, Mark Andrews clears that entire division besides maybe Freiermuth, but right now I don't think it's close. Now O-line, that could be wrong. I'm just saying the Browns because I don't really analyze offensive lines. I just know that Pittsburgh, the last I heard, was terrible. The Bengals, well, we saw in the preseason, it can be very spotty, and I don't think the Ravens was perfect. So we'll take the Browns. Defense, I'm gonna take the Steelers. I think they have the most studs. Now Cleveland has a good defense, Baltimore has a good defense, Cincy has a good defense, but Pittsburgh's got the TJ Watts, the Minka Fitzpatricks, the Cam Haywards. And Minka might be a free agent upcoming, but this last year he was a Steeler. And then to end the AFC North team, we've got our coach, and to me, it's Mike Tomlin. And this could be a toss-up with some other people too. Zach Taylor, he's been great the last 2 years. John Harbaugh, okay, he's kind of on the hot seat, although I think he has a very good mind. And Kevin Stefanski, I don't think is really a bad head coach either, but Mike Tomlin never ever had a negative season. That right there is enough to make me want him. You're guaranteed to be in it. Alright, so our next team, we are going to go back to the NFC and do the South. This division was a mess. So here is the team, and I'm going off the notion that Tom Brady is retired, so hear me out. Quarterback is Andy Dalton, running back is Alvin Kamara, wide receiver 1 is Mike Evans, wide receiver 2 is DJ Moore, tight end is Kyle Pitts, offensive line is the Bucks, defense is the Saints, and my head coach is Arthur Smith. Quarterback, okay, what are you gonna do? Kyle Trask? No. Sam Darnold? No. Desmond Ridder? No. Running back, I mean, that's kind of a toss-up. I think Kamara has the highest ceiling. Wide receivers, Mike Evans is probably the best in that division, and Chris Godwin could be looked at as number 2, but I think I would rather have DJ Moore. Tight end, we all know Kyle Pitts is the best there. He just needs to be utilized. O-line, I'm gonna take the Bucs just because of Tristan Wirfs alone. He is enough to make me grab them. Defense, I'm taking the Saints, though that could be argued with Tampa Bay. It could be argued with Carolina, honestly. Maybe even Atlanta for AJ Terrell, but I think the Saints have the most upside. They have Marshawn, they have Honey Badger, they have Cameron Jordan, they have Davenport. I feel like they've got the most talent, but you really could take any defense there except probably Atlanta. That would be ridiculous. And then as far as my head coach goes, I'm actually going to roll with Arthur Smith. I wouldn't touch Todd Bowles with a 10-foot pole. Frank Reich isn't bad, but I'm not going to take him over a guy who's found success with a terrible team. And Dennis Allen, I don't think really should be a head coach in the league to begin with. So Arthur Smith is my man, and that is my team for the NFC South. All right, following the train, we will hop over to the AFC South now, and this team is another mess. It's actually a bigger mess. AFC South team is looking like this. My quarterback is Trevor Lawrence. My running back is Derrick Henry. My wide receiver 1 is Calvin Ridley. Wide receiver 2, Michael Pittman. Tight end, Evan Ingram. O-line, Colts. Defense, Colts, and my coach is Mike Vrabel. Again with the quarterback thing, are you gonna pick Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, or Davis Mills? No. Running backs, now that's kind of tough because you're saying no to Damian Pierce, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne, you know, some good guys, but Derrick Henry clears. Wide receivers, there's really no great receivers in that division besides Calvin Ridley. The other guys are all good, but not fantastic. Tight end, I'm not taking Mo Alcox. I'm not taking Austin Hooper. And when it comes to O-line, I guess I'll take the Colts in hopes that Quentin can be great again. Defense, I'm gonna take the Colts because they've got DeForest Buckner, they've got Darius Leonard, they've got Gilly Locke. And head coach, I will take Mike Vrabel because he has proven time and time again he can contend with absolutely nobody. So you give him a team like this, he'll probably be really good. Compared to the other division teams though, that team is trash. All right, so now we're done with the Norths, we're done with the Souths, and we're gonna move on to the Wests. So going back to the NFC, we've got my NFC West team, and this might come as a shocker, but here it is. My starting quarterback is Kyler Murray. Yeah, and then my running back is Christian McCaffrey. Wide receiver 1 is Cooper Kupp. Wide receiver 2 is D-Hop. If it can't be D-Hop, it's DK or Debo. I don't know, D-Hop might be traded, so eh. Tight end is George Kittle. O-line is 49ers, defense is 49ers, and my head coach is Sean McVay. So starting off with our quarterback, yep, I would take Kyler over Stafford, Geno, or anybody in San Fran right now. Running back, that one's pretty obvious with CMC, and wide receiver 1, that one's pretty obvious with Cooper Kupp. However, wide receiver 2, if D-Hop is to get traded, I would take DK Metcalf, and if I couldn't have DK, I would take Debo. It's a really hard decision there, especially with D-Hop possibly getting traded. Tight end, I think Kittle clears that entire division, and it's not even close. O-line, I'm taking the 49ers. They seem the most solid right now. Defense, the 49ers, it's not even close. And my head coach, I'm actually going to take Sean McVay here over Kyle Shanahan. And you could do Pete Carroll too, although like I said, I just think his coaching style is a little bit outdated. And when it comes to the other two, McVay's the one who has won a Super Bowl and Kyle Shanahan's the one who always chokes. So that is my NFC West team, and that's probably the only time I'll ever take Kyler Murray. And now it is time for my AFC West team. Quarterback is Russell Wilson. I'll stop. Okay, I'm done. Quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. Running back is Austin Eckler. Wide receiver 1, Devontae Adams. Wide receiver 2, Keenan. Tight end, Travis Kelce. Chiefs offensive line, Broncos defense, and my coach, that's not even close. It's Andy Reid. This one, there is little to any explanation needed for hardly any of these categories. Quarterback, obviously we're going to take Patrick Mahomes. He's the best in the league. Running back, now that one's close. A lot of people would probably take Josh Jacobs. I would stick with Eckler. I just like his dual threat capabilities. Wide receiver 1, Devontae Adams. He's clearly the best receiver in that division. Wide receiver 2, that could be a toss-up with Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, maybe Mike Williams, but I'm going to take Keenan Allen. I still think he's elite. Tight end, Travis Kelce, not close. O-line, I'll take the Chiefs. Seems like Mahomes fares pretty well. Defense, I'm going with the Broncos. I think they got too many studs to miss out on. And my head coach, I'm taking Andy Reid because he's been the best head coach in football over the past, 5-6 seasons. Like I said, this team was pretty easy. A couple thinkers, but not too many of them. My AFC West team, I think, is pretty loaded. All right, and we are on to our final batch of teams. We got the Beasts of the East. So we'll start off with the NFC East first. My team is going to look a little like this. Quarterback is Jalen Hurts. Running back is Szechuan. Wide receiver 1, A.J. Brown. Wide receiver 2, Terry. Tight end, Dallas Goedert. Cowboys O-line if they're healthy. Cowboys defense if they're healthy. And my head coach, Brian DeBall. So quarterback, Jalen Hurts, that one I think is pretty clear. He has shown that he is going to probably be one of the best quarterbacks in the league going forward. You're going to take him. Running back, Saquon Barkley, bounce back in the biggest way possible. Looks like a top 3 back in the league. I'll take him. Wide receiver 1, AJ Brown. I think he is clearly the best in that division. But wide receiver 2, now this is a toss-up between a lot of guys. You got CD, who could be a number 1. You got Devontae Smith. And then you got Terry, who I'm going to take because behind AJ Brown, I think Terry is the most talented in that entire division. Terry is good no matter what quarterback you give him. And he has proven that. What, 3-4 years in a row now? CD is great, Devontae is great, but I'm going to take consistency. I know Terry is going to go off. Tight end, I think Goddard clears. O-line, Cowboys, when healthy, it's really not close. Defense, when healthy, it could be close, but I'm taking Micah Parsons alone over the entire Philly defense. And then my head coach, I'm taking Brian DeBall. Nick Sirianni's great, but guys, he's an ass. I don't want him as my coach. And that is my NFC East team. That one is going to have some controversy, and I'm ready to fight. And finally, ending the video, we've got the AFC East. This team is gonna look like this. Our quarterback is Joshua Patrick Allen. Running back is Breece Hall. Wide receiver 1, Tyreek. Wide receiver 2, Diggs. Tight end, Dawson Knox. Offensive line, Jets. Defense, Bills. And head coach, that's not close, Bill Belichick. To run through this team really quick, it's not really a lot. Josh, best quarterback in that division, flying colors. Running backs, honestly, there's not a really good one in that division besides Breece Hall or Ramondre Stevenson. Damian Harris apparently is out of the equation. Receivers, I think Tyreek and Stephon Diggs will be majority of everybody's picks there. You could take Garrett Wilson or Jalen Waddle, but I'm not going to. Tight end, we'll go with Dawson Knox. There's not a lot of competition, and from what I've seen, he can be very good. O-line, Jets, I've gone over that a million times. I love their O-line. If they're healthy, they're going to be elite. Defense, I'll still take the Bills. And the head coach is the greatest of all time, Bill Belichick. That team was pretty straightforward, but maybe some people will disagree. Anyway, that is my starting team for every NFL division. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I fulfilled your requests. If you guys did like this video, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my absolute best to post on this channel every single day. As far as tomorrow's video goes, I'm not sure when I'm even going to upload this. This could be a Friday video, so I'm not sure. But as always, guys, have a good rest of your day, and as always, I will see you the next time I upload.